Have you ever wondered where you were during the Summer of Love in 1967? That was the year rock music became more than just music. It became the voice of an entire generation, with powerful guitar riffs and thought-provoking lyrics that changed the way people saw the world. In today's video, we're counting down the 12 greatest rock songs of 1967. From chart-topping hits to timeless masterpieces that helped shape rock history, each of these songs left a mark that has never faded. But will your favorite take the #1 spot? Let's turn back the clock and find out. Number 12, Brown-Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. Released in 1967, Brown-Eyed Girl became Van Morrison's breakthrough hit and one of the most beloved love songs in rock history. With its gentle rhythm, nostalgic lyrics, and unforgettable sha-la-la chorus, the song captures both the joy and bittersweet memories of young love. Amid the psychedelic explosion of 1967, the song stood out because of its warmth and simplicity. Interestingly, it was originally titled Brown-Skinned Girl before being changed to Brown-Eyed Girl just before its release. Rather than singing about mind-expanding journeys or political protests, it simply tells the story of missing someone special long after the summer has faded away. Even Van Morrison never expected the song to become such a success, yet it has endured as a timeless musical memory. Number 11, Light My Fire by The Doors. Know that it will be untrue. Light My Fire was the spark that transformed The Doors into rock legends. Released in 1967, the song combined Jim Morrison's mesmerizing vocals, jazz-inspired instrumental solos, and Ray Manzarek's hypnotic organ playing to create one of the defining sounds of the era. Morrison and Manzarek pushed far beyond the limits of commercial radio. The original album version ran for more than 7 minutes, featuring bold instrumental passages that shattered the traditional 3-minute pop song format. To make the song radio-friendly, the record label was forced to cut nearly half of the original recording. Even so, the edited version climbed to #1 on the charts. Mysterious, seductive, and rebellious, Light My Fire perfectly captured the spirit of the Summer of Love, proving that the Doors were more than just a band. They were a movement. Come on, baby, light my fire. Number 10, Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. With its thunderous guitar riff and gritty blues foundation, Sunshine of Your Love marked a turning point in the evolution of rock music. Released in late 1967, the song blended psychedelic influences with raw power, paving the way for hard rock and heavy metal. Jack Bruce's iconic bass line, Eric Clapton's blazing guitar work, and Ginger Baker's thunderous drumming created a sound that was both hypnotic and explosive. Few people realize that Bruce came up with the famous riff after the band had watched Jimi Hendrix perform in London. The lyrics mix longing and romance with a darker emotional edge that reflected the mood of the era. It became Cream's biggest hit and remains one of the defining classics of the Summer of Love. Number 9, Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane. When Grace Slick brought Somebody to Love to Jefferson Airplane in 1967, the song was transformed from a folk tune into a blazing rock anthem. Her powerful vocals cut through the psychedelic atmosphere with urgency, passion, and defiance. Driven by pounding rhythms and razor-sharp guitar work, the song questioned the romantic ideals of the era. Instead of celebrating peace and flowers, it challenged listeners to find genuine human connection in a world that seemed to be falling apart. Before becoming one of Jefferson Airplane's signature hits, Grace Slick had originally performed the song with her previous band, The Great Society. Wouldn't you love somebody to love? Powerful, emotional, and bursting with energy, Somebody to Love became one of the defining voices of San Francisco's counterculture movement. Number 8. San Francisco, Be Sure to Wear Flowers in Your Hair by Scott McKenzie. More than just a song, San Francisco became the anthem of the Summer of Love. Written by John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas and performed by Scott McKenzie, it welcomed thousands of young people to Haight-Ashbury with its gentle melody and message of peace. Released in 1967, the song invited listeners to become part of a movement built on love, unity, and hope for a better world. In fact, John Phillips originally wrote it to promote the Monterey International Pop Festival, but its influence quickly grew far beyond its original purpose.
Such a strange vibration.
With its heartfelt lyrics and soothing melody, San Francisco offered a quiet sense of belonging and became the soundtrack for an entire generation searching for a place to call home. Number 7. A Day in the Life by the Beatles.
About a lucky man who made the grade.
Closing Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, A Day in the Life stands as one of the Beatles' most ambitious creations. John Lennon's dreamlike verses blend seamlessly with Paul McCartney's vivid middle section to paint a surreal portrait of everyday life.
Out of people stood and stared.
The song builds through a dramatic orchestral crescendo before ending with its legendary final piano chord that slowly fades into silence, taking rock music into entirely new cinematic territory. Shortly after its release, the BBC banned the song from radio, believing one lyric referred to drug use, making it even more controversial and widely discussed.
Fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head.
It wasn't simply a song. It was an immersive sonic experience that reflected the growing disillusionment hidden beneath the hopeful ideals of the era. At this point, if one of these songs brings back memories of your younger days, tell us which one in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. And now, let's move on to the songs that took rock music to an entirely new level. Number 6. For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield.
Something happening here. What it is.
Released just before 1967, For What It's Worth quickly became one of the defining protest songs of its generation. With its haunting opening guitar riff and Stephen Stills' calm, reflective vocals, the song captured the growing tension between young people and those in authority.
Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Although it was inspired by protests against the Sunset Strip curfew, the song's message quickly expanded beyond that single event to reflect social unrest, war, and sweeping cultural change. Interestingly, many people still believe it was written specifically about the Vietnam War, even though Stephen Stills has repeatedly said that was never his intention. Rather than expressing anger, the song speaks with quiet urgency, proving that sometimes the most powerful truths are delivered in the gentlest voices.
Now, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Number 5. I Can See for Miles by The Who.
You deceived me, now here's a surprise.
Released in late 1967, I Can See for Miles captured The Who at their most explosive and precise. The song combined Keith Moon's chaotic drumming, Pete Townshend's layered guitar work, and razor-sharp lyrics to create a recording that was both massive and razor-edged. Townshend once called it the greatest song he had ever written, and it's easy to understand why. Its dense, powerful production pushed the limits of what rock music could accomplish in the recording studio. Although it reached only number 10 in the UK, the song climbed into the top 10 in the United States and became The Who's highest-charting single on the Billboard Hot 100.
You gotta stand trial because all the while.
More than half a century later, I Can See for Miles remains one of the defining masterpieces of late 1960s rock. Number 4. A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum.
A house in New Orleans.
Dreamlike, poetic, and unlike anything else on the radio in 1967, A Whiter Shade of Pale instantly became a classic. Built around its haunting organ melody inspired by Bach, the song blended baroque elegance with surreal, dreamlike lyrics. Gary Brooker's deeply emotional vocals, combined with Matthew Fisher's melancholy organ performance, gave the song a timeless, floating quality. Even today, the true meaning behind much of its lyrics remains the subject of endless debate, with fans and music critics alike never reaching a single definitive interpretation. No one truly knows what the lyrics mean, and perhaps that's exactly what makes the song so mysterious. It became one of the biggest international hits of 1967 and remains an enduring symbol of psychedelic rock. Number 3. Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. From its very first guitar notes, Purple Haze made it clear that rock music had entered an entirely new era. With its distorted riff, fuzz-drenched guitar solos, and surreal lyrics, Jimi Hendrix completely redefined what a rock guitar could do. It wasn't just a song, it was a declaration of sonic rebellion. Backed by Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell, Hendrix blended his blues roots with fearless experimentation to create a sound unlike anything audiences had ever heard. Interestingly, Hendrix repeatedly insisted that the song was never about drugs, despite widespread assumptions, explaining instead that it was inspired by a strange dream. Lyrics like, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky," quickly became iconic symbols of psychedelic music. Although it never reached number 1 on the American charts, Purple Haze permanently changed the sound of rock music. Number 2. See Emily Play by Pink Floyd.
He tries but misunderstands.
Unlike anything else on the radio in 1967, See Emily Play invited listeners into a dreamlike world that only Syd Barrett could have imagined. Released in 1967, it became Pink Floyd's first successful single and one of the defining songs of British psychedelic rock.
There is no other day.
Written by Syd Barrett, the song combined whimsical, dream-inspired lyrics with groundbreaking studio experimentation. Reverse tape effects, echo, and shifting pitch created a surreal story about a girl named Emily drifting through a world of imagination and illusion. Many people have believed Emily was based on a real person, but Barrett never confirmed the theory, making the mystery behind the song even more intriguing. Brief, strange, and filled with sonic surprises, See Emily Play stood out during the psychedelic explosion and marked the beginning of Pink Floyd's remarkable creative journey. Number 1. Let's Spend the Night Together by the Rolling Stones.
Don't you worry about what's on your mind, oh man.
While many artists were singing about peace and love, the Rolling Stones chose a far more daring and rebellious path. During a year defined by the hippie movement and free love, Let's Spend the Night Together pushed the band's provocative image even further. Bold, energetic, and unapologetically suggestive, the song sparked widespread controversy while cementing the Rolling Stones as rock's ultimate rebels.
I'm up ahead, my mouth's getting dry.
Driven by pounding piano, a relentless rhythm, and Mick Jagger's provocative vocals, the song radiated confidence and defiance. Even during their appearance on American television, Jagger was instructed to change the lyrics to avoid controversy, but the incident only made the song even more famous.
The night together, now I need you more than.
Despite attempts by radio stations and television networks to limit its exposure, the Rolling Stones refused to back down. It was anything but subtle, yet it remains one of the most unforgettable rock songs of 1967. Nearly Nearly 6 decades have passed, yet it takes only a few opening guitar notes to bring the summer of 1967 rushing back into the memories of millions of rock fans around the world. Together, we've revisited 12 of the greatest rock songs of 1967. From deeply emotional ballads to groundbreaking anthems that changed music forever. Each song captured an era when rock wasn't just reflecting life, it became the voice of an entire generation. If these songs brought back memories of your younger days, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to join us on many more journeys through the greatest moments in rock history. And now, as a special thank you to everyone who stayed with us until the very end, we'd like to share something special with you. There's one thing that many people may have never noticed. The 12 songs featured in today's countdown tell only a small part of the story. Behind each of them was the beginning of bands that would go on to change the history of rock music forever. If 1967 is remembered as the summer of love, it was also the year many true legends began writing the most remarkable chapters of their careers. The Beatles are the perfect example. With A Day in the Life, they proved that rock was no longer just music to dance to. It had become an art form with extraordinary depth. But that was only the beginning. In the years that followed, they created Hey Jude, Come Together, Let It Be, and countless other masterpieces, establishing themselves as the most influential band of the 20th century. If you've always loved their music, we've also created a dedicated video that tells the story of their incredible journey through their greatest songs. While the Beatles were expanding the boundaries of songwriting, the Doors showed the world that rock could be mysterious, rebellious, and deeply poetic all at once. Light My Fire introduced them to a global audience, but People Are Strange, LA Woman, and Riders on the Storm truly completed the band's legacy. Each song marked another step in their artistic evolution and helped turn the Doors into one of classic rock's most enduring icons. At the very same time, an entirely different direction in rock music was beginning to take shape. With Sunshine of Your Love, Cream laid the foundation for hard rock through powerful guitar riffs unlike anything audiences had heard before. Then came Jimi Hendrix. With Purple Haze alone, he forever changed the way the world looked at the electric guitar. Even today, thousands of musicians still consider Hendrix their greatest inspiration. Meanwhile, on another corner of England, Pink Floyd was still a young band led by Syd Barrett. Few people in 1967 could have imagined that only a few years later they would create albums like The Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here, records that not only became commercial triumphs but also transformed the world's understanding of what a rock album could be. And of course, no conversation about this era would be complete without the Rolling Stones. Let's Spend the Night Together was only one of the first steps in building their rebellious image. In the years that followed, the band released one classic rock anthem after another, cementing their place as the Beatles' greatest rivals and becoming one of the longest-lasting touring bands in rock history. That's exactly what makes the history of rock so fascinating. No song exists in isolation. Every recording is another link in the journey of an artist, a band, and an entire generation. When all of those pieces come together, we begin to see how rock music never stopped evolving, never stopped experimenting, and never stopped finding new ways to connect with listeners. That's also the journey we're exploring together here on this channel. We're not just revisiting famous songs, we're rediscovering the albums that changed history, the bands that defined entire generations, and the untold stories behind some of rock's most unforgettable classics. And if you think 1967 represented the peak of rock music, the most exciting chapter may still be ahead. Just 1 year later, rock entered an entirely new era. The guitars became heavier, the ideas grew even bolder, and a new wave of masterpieces began to emerge. We hope you'll continue joining us as we explore each of those unforgettable milestones together, because the story of rock is far from over, and perhaps the greatest chapters are still waiting for us in the videos ahead. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep those timeless rock melodies alive in your heart.